I literally bought sunglasses so that when they perform Igloo, I was gonna be like, just like everyone else, when we saw the ticket price, we were just like, huh? If I asked a rando on the street to sing You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift, they can probably like at least 60% to 70% get the lyrics down. To me, it seems like VCHA is probably gonna be over. Ding ding! Welcome, you're right on time for Delulu Hour! As the name entails, Delulu Hour is the podcast where I yap for however long about life, pop culture, anime, and of course, K-pop, all with a hint of spice and a crap ton of delusion. My name is Kevin, and I am the main host of the show. Hello everyone, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Not New Year yet at the time of recording this. The time of recording this right now is December 28th at 2:41 a.m. I know it's been a hot minute since I've recorded a podcast. Yes, I remember I have a podcast. And we're finally on episode 9, almost at episode 10. Can you believe that? Oh my God. How's everyone doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Last time I made a podcast, what did I even yap about? I'm pretty sure I yapped about something in the K-pop scene. I think it was it Le Sserafim or was it NewJeans? Or I can't remember anymore. But I remember for a fact that my last podcast was in the beginning of November, and I talked about going to the Kiss of Life concert that was going to happen in like mid-November. But me being a Toronto kissy, the tour got canceled on the dailies. It was so tragic. Like I literally found out the morning of, like on TikTok, and my friend was telling me, "Yo, hold on, like." The concert's canceled, right? And I was checking like my Instagram stories because like I have a bunch of friends who are also planning to go, and I was checking through it, and I was just, like, everyone was also saying the same thing, and I was just like, no. I was trying so hard to like delude myself into believing like it was not really true, but alas, like unfortunately, Kiss of Life didn't come to Toronto. I think it was because of visa issues or something, but like even till this date, like I don't know, but like whatever, like we got a refund. And like, throughout the month of November, like I was really sad. Cause November is usually like a boring month. Like there's no holidays here in Canada for the month of November, aside from like Remembrance Day, but that's not really like a holiday per se. So like November 13th was the day of the concert. I was so excited. I literally bought sunglasses ready for the concert so that when they perform Igloo, I was gonna be like right, like the, but yes. Another thing is Stray Kids is also gonna have a concert in Toronto sometime next year. I was gonna think about going, but like concert tickets are kind of expensive, and like when I was trying to nab some tickets, I was like, I'm not like, what's their fandom name? Is it Strays? Right? I think it's Strays, or Stays, either one of those two. But yeah, I'm not like that big of a fan of them, but like I do like their music casually. So I was thinking like, oh, if it's like under like 100 or like around 100, then I'll go. But it was like $200 for like a ticket, so I was like, yeah, I'm good. But anyways, my New York vlog is finally out. I'm like promoting it like a month after it came out. But yeah, it came out finally. Like I think I posted it like at the beginning of December. So that video is fun, fresh, and fierce. So if you haven't checked that out yet, please go watch it. I've worked really hard on it. I've injected it with so many memes. I had to brain rot myself into being able to make it funny enough for the Gen Z viewers like me. And speaking of other videos, like I also posted my Honkai Star Rail video because the new banner for Sunday came out, so I I had to pull from my Lord and Savior. So yeah, go check those 2 videos out. Which, speaking of, like I'm super proud that I've got 2 videos out for this month, and this will be my 3rd video. So I'm like really trying to be on set for 2025 for me to lock the fuck in. Like I want to post more. I want to post more like skit kind of content. I want to be more consistent for the podcast. Like right now, I'm actually quite enjoying this 1 month per podcast kind of thing because it lets me, like gather like a bunch of news that happens in the month, gather like things that happen in my personal life. Because like I'm a solo podcasting, right? So, and like it's not always that I can get a guest on here. Like my friends are busy and I'm not big enough to reach out for anyone bigger. So, um, I'm like just stuck solo podcasting, which I am quite content about. And I would like to change like the format a bit more because you know how like Stephanie Sue does these kind of videos as well, but like at least she has like I think it's her partner who like helps her out with the videos. But for me, I'm just yapping to a camera alone on a Saturday evening, Saturday morning. Sorry, because it's 2:40 a.m. Goodness gracious. But yeah, like a lot has happened since I posted my last podcast. And specifically in Toronto here, like Taylor Swift actually, which I'll be talking about for a majority of this podcast, came to Toronto. Now, if you're wondering if I went to the Eras tour, I unfortunately did not get tickets to the Eras tour. Just like everyone else, when we saw the ticket price, we were just like, huh? Huh? So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go. I had friends who also wanted to go, but over 1 grand for like a backseat ticket was just not it. But for those who did went, like good for you. I pray for your wallet, but good for you. But for those who don't know, like I wanted to make this segment because I think like a lot of people, like for the most part, like know who Taylor Swift is, but some people like actually don't know who she is. Like, I've asked some of my like colleagues at work, and I'm just like, "Do you know Taylor Swift? Like, she came to Toronto, and like she's making like such a big impact." And everyone's just like, "Oh, like I don't really follow the pop culture trend," and I'm just like, huh? You don't know who Taylor Swift is? So this is for you, colleagues. So Taylor Swift is a global pop sensation. For those might say, right? She started at the age of like 10, 12. Yes, I did research about her for this podcast. Please spare me. Like, if I don't get the details right, I'm so sorry, but this is what I found. This is like my quick rundown of everything that she's done. So yeah. So yeah, she started making music from the age around like 10 to 12 and performing in like local events in her hometown, Pennsylvania. But then eventually her mom was like, hey, like you kind of got a thing for music. So let's move to Tennessee where she could pursue like her love for pop music or country pop music specifically. So they went to Tennessee, her and her family, and she performed more there and actually managed to land a record label with Sony Music, which period. And then she made her debut with the song Tim McGraw, which I was like, what? For the longest time, I thought You Belong With Me was like actually her first song. And like I was like, oh, maybe that's why she blew up so big. But no, her first song was Tim McGraw, and I haven't heard of the song before. Even now, I have not listened to the song, just because I'm like, when I was doing the research for this, I already had like so much to talk about because like Taylor Swift, she kind of has like a whole track record, right, of things we need to talk about. So moving on from that, like from there, like we already know she created like big hits, right? Like You Belong With Me, Love Story. What was the other one? I Knew You Were Trouble, and like that was like her pop country pop era, right? Which I think most people like were okay with that music, and especially like You Belong With Me, right? Because of how big it blew up. But like the other music that she created, like on her the rest of her album, right? I think it was like either you hate it or you love it, right? For me, like I'm not really a country person to begin with, so like I just stuck with the title track, and then like that's all I heard from her. But then when she dropped her Reputation era, oh girl, like she went full pop for that album, and that really spoke to me because I'm a pop girly, and also like I like a baddie era. So she with Reputation, I think the what was it? Oh, not just Reputation, but 1989. Oh, those two albums were like so good for me. Oh my god. I think Blank Space was on the 1989 album, and then followed by like style in the thing? Yeah. But Reputation for me was the number one for me. And then, now she has other songs like Cruel Summer, she had Folklore, Cardigan, and like those were some of her more recent hits. But I think she's like leaning more back towards like the country pop side. So like I didn't like too much of those songs. Um, but Cruel Summer to me, oh, when I was doing the research for the for Taylor Swift, I just had Cruel Summer on repeat. And like I was wondering why on Spotify, like, oh my, this has like 2 billion listens on Spotify. Like what's the whole what with that? And I actually gave it like a thorough listen and I was like, you this is your body, it's true. So we love that for her. And she also had like other great songs like Me. What was that the other one? I can't remember here. I didn't clearly I didn't not do enough research. But anyways, how old were you guys when you listened to your first Taylor Swift song? I think for me, I was around like 9 years old, and it was "You Belong with Me," right? And I remember specifically like we kind of like memed about it. Memeing before memeing was actually a thing, where we got a sketch pad and like in class we would just like show each other like the "You Belong with Me" thing and just like, "You okay? Yeah, I'm fine, just studying." That it's so iconic. Just think about it. So, if you're watching this right now, go back on that music video and like just reminiscent. Oh, love it. I'm not trying to promote Taylor Swift here, but well, we're promoting Taylor Swift here, I guess. Aside from that, like, what were your like initial impressions of Taylor Swift? I thought like for me, because I was 9 years old at the time, I didn't think too much of it. I just thought, oh, like this is a good song. Like I didn't pay too much attention of what Taylor Swift was making aside from like Love Story, because like it was like literally just those two. Oh my god, Romeo and Juliet. Wait, Romeo and Juliet. Says it. Wait, isn't that? I don't know anymore. But like, see how like the lyrics are like ingrained in your head. If I asked a rando on the street to sing "You Belong with Me" by Taylor Swift, they can probably like at least like I say 60% to 70% get the lyrics down. And like that's the case for me too. Like you're in the street when you walk. Sorry. Oh, oh, no, sorry. This podcast is making me like want to go and like listen to like Taylor Swift right now. I'm so sorry. But moving on, over time, like her impact globally is like no joke, right? She has recorded over 10 studio albums and became an inspiration for many artists. Her ability to write songs, I believe, is what solidified her in the industry. Because if you go into any of her songs, like all the credits, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, like she writes all her songs. It's absolutely insane, and it's very impressive for like what she did at like for women, right? It's crazy. And throughout her career, I remember like a lot of people like belittled her, like talked down on her. Specifically, I remember like the Kanye West situation. Oh, T, T girl T, and she gets like millions of streams on Spotify on the daily. Last time I checked Spotify, her stream count was like 90 million monthly, making her like one of the top 10, I think top 5 artists on Spotify. Like that, it's crazy how big she is. So when I'm talking about like the Eras tour specifically for this, like it's no joke like what she did, right? Like so I'm deciding to talk about Taylor Swift because she came to Toronto recently. She came to do 6 whole shows. So she did like 3 shows, I think, on like the 17, 18, 19, and then she did like another show like 21st, 22nd to 23rd. And those were like the most, from a Swiftie perspective, right? I'm not a Swiftie, but like from a Swiftie perspective, those were like the most magical days ever. Because pretty much everywhere in Toronto, it was like Taylor Swift themes, like friendship bracelets everywhere. Taylor Swift music was playing. Just think of like an image of your most typical Swiftie, and like that's what you saw in Toronto for like the whole 2 weeks that she was here. And I don't know if you guys saw the clip, any of you Torontonians, but like there was a clip of her car being like escorted on the highway. Like it was crazy. Literally, like there was a whole gap from like the traffic, like where the police cars were holding back people. Like, and then here was her car, like right. Let me be in the camera frame for this. So imagine like this is the cars, like the regular cars, and then like there's like a whole row of police cars in front of them to block the highway, and then this is Taylor Swift's car in the middle. Like notice the gap is crazy, and then on top of that, there's like policemen, like the police on horses, like escorting her as well. And then more police and police on motorcycles escorting her as well. And then another line of cars in front, which are police cars, like just like a whole herd escorting Taylor Swift wherever she went or like to her concert, right? It's absolute insane. And I was just thinking like this, like I've never seen a celebrity get this much treatment in a long time. Like maybe Justin Bieber or fuck or like right, but or like the president, right? Like typical secret security kind of thing. But for this, I'm just like, damn, like she was elitist for like the whole 2 weeks that she was here. But going back, sorry for the tangent. The Eras tour started at the beginning of like March in 2023, which is crazy, right? Because I thought the tour only started this year, but she was touring in like Arizona and like moving around the world for more than a year, right? Because she finished her tour in December in Vancouver. So I'm like, girl, ooh, take a breath. You just toured over 51 cities and held 149 concerts, if my research is correct. So it's crazy how big of an impact she is. So for those who said, "Oh, who's Taylor Swift?" Yeah, she's Taylor Swift, and her impact in Toronto was like insane. I remember as well when I went to downtown Toronto. Her poster for like the Era Tour was like literally on every single corner, and like even the road signs had like Taylor's Way on it to lead you to the Rogers Center where she was performing. Girl, oh my god, it was so extra. I loved it, but I think the general consensus is from like non Taylor Swift fans, non Swifties, and also just regular people as well, was they were sick of Taylor Swift pretty much because it was causing huge traffic for TTC, huge traffic for traffic like on the road. It was Taylor Swift left and right nonstop. Every single store was just playing her music to celebrate. And especially if like you live in downtown or you're in the GTA area where you have to commute down and you just see a bunch of Swifties like in big groups traveling down there, it's crazy. And there's like clips of as well as like people leaving the concert venue because the Rogers Center, if you don't know, it's arena size, right? So I think the capacity for the concert was at least over like 45,000. So imagine 45,000 people leaving a concert hall all at the same time. And then like the traffic, bro, the traffic after like 9 p.m. Oh, crazy. I'm sorry. I'm so lucky to have graduated because if I had to commute that day downtown, because my school was downtown when I was still in school, and you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like, oh my god. Okay, I don't want to yap anymore. But to be fair, her concert and like her performance is unmatched. I've never seen a performer, like specifically a Western performer, perform as well as she does. Like of her level, right? Because there's a lot of pop stars out there, you know, Ariana Grande, Olivia Rodrigo, Justin Bieber, you know, just throwing a bunch of names out there. But I haven't seen them perform to the level of like Taylor Swift because she is so intricate about everything, like from stage props to how she performs to how she hypes the crowd. I was watching clips of it and I was Oh, I was really emotional. Well, emotion. I don't think emotional is the right word, but I was just taken aback because I thought before looking at those clips, I thought she was overrated. I mean, you could say she is overrated still, but at least for me, I thought her performance was overrated. But I understand why a lot of people are captivated by her performance because it really does feel magical, and her energy is so strong starting off with Cruel Summer. So I love watching the concert. So I think she has the movie out already for it. So if you want to watch that, go ahead. I didn't get to watch it, but I could say from watching the clips of those performances, I could probably recommend the movie to you so you could get like a better experience of what she's like on stage. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys think of the whole Eras tour. Let me know what you think about Taylor Swift herself. Like, do you think uh, she's a good performer? Is she a good singer? What do you think about the whole Eras tour as itself? Like, is the stage design good? Was the set list good? And please let me know, especially if you went to the concert. Like, would you guys go again? Would you spend drop another like 2,000 grand if she came back next year? Like, let me know, right? But I talk about this as well because Taylor Swift has been in the industry for like quite some time now, and I was just thinking like, is there like a down from here? Is she gonna fall off eventually? Is she still gonna make more music? Is she gonna be outshined by the more recent pop sensations right now, like Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, Chappelle Roan, like all those people? Um, because you could only be in the industry for so long, as new generations come out, right? They're gonna be like, who's Taylor Swift? I only know like a few of her songs, and even her songs, like you could tell like they're they're kind of they feel dated, if that makes sense. Like it's still catchy, it's still pop, and it's Taylor Swift, but let's say like another artist was to like release the songs that she was releasing, I don't think it would do as well just because the song like it speaks to an older generation, and like with older generations they just stick with artists that they already like and already know, like already familiar with. Whereas like Gen Z, they're very open to like new songs, new music, but they wouldn't like specifically go out their way to go to Taylor Swift, look at all of her discography, and then become a fan like that. No, like they'll just pick the first song that comes up and then decide whether or not they want to stan them from there or not. Um, but Taylor Swift still has a really big fan base. A lot of her fan base is young girls, so maybe her career still is like trajecting up, but I feel like at her point at her career, like I think she already peaked when Blank Space and her Reputation era was going on. But I think it's like it feels steady, maybe like steady down, steady decline, right? She's not gonna just fall off the cliff, right? But I think she'll find her way throughout this thing. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is actually a more like K-pop kind of recap thing. We're moving on from Western artists to K-pop now. Lol. um, so as I've mentioned before on my previous podcast, I think it was maybe the fourth, fifth episode. I was talking about the whole Minheejin, NewJeans, Adore, Bang Shi-hook thing. I think last episode I was talking about that too because of the industry. Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I was talking about the Hybe industry report and how like a bunch of things came out about NewJeans and Hybe, how they operate and what they thought about other people in the industry. And I was like, oh girl, how are they gonna recover from this? But here's the follow up. Here's the update. So pretty much since that happened, Min Hee Jin has resigned from Adore. I think that happened sometime in early November. And as on top of that, because of Min Hee Jin resigning from CEO, NewJeans obviously doesn't want that, right? So they came on live stream. They had a press conference pretty much stating their demands, right? They said, okay, like this is no longer a happy work environment for us. We feel as though Hybe is mistreating us, and that they're being disrespected within their own company. So, that is a violation of contract on Hybe's end, I believe. So now NewJeans is coming out and saying, "Oh, like we want to terminate our contracts," which, whoa, that's kind of hit. That's kind of big. That's kind of shit. So they gave Hybe a deadline. I think it was like November 20 something, like end of November, pretty much. If you don't give us a response, then we're gonna figure out a way to terminate the contract. And long story short, Hybe didn't give them a response. They just said, like, you're still an artist here, so you have to fulfill your duties as an artist under your contract. But NewJeans is like, oh, sorry, I guess we're gonna force our way out of the contract whether you like it or not. So at the end of year awards ceremonies, K-pop media in this K-pop industry, there's like end of year award ceremonies. They went on stage. There was one clip instance where like they were talking about how, oh, like even if we're not NewJeans, NewJeans never die, and like that was really cute and sweet because I personally, I wouldn't consider myself a bunny, but I think after looking at the news and everything, like I am on team NewJeans. I Yeah, and more about that. Like I just want to say, like it's weird how we always talk about, oh, like support artists and like you should always support the artist, the company is shit. But in this instance, like because of, I guess you could say because of Min Heejin, a lot of people are anti NewJeans, just because they're anti Min Heejin. So they don't like see two and two together. They see like, they think they're just one entity, right? If NewJeans leaves Hybe, then that means they're gonna go back to Min Heejin, and a lot of people don't like that because of how Min Heejin has dragged Le Sserafim, Islet, and other groups within Hybe down. And you know how stans are, right? They like playing favorites, so they kind of see like NewJeans and Min Heejin as like almost like an enemy to Hybe. So like there's like kind of like backlash on them when like for me, like I expected like a lot of support for NewJeans, but it's opposite actually. It's like very very gray, very middle ground. But I want to say, like, I think it's not surprising that NewJeans like wants to leave the company with like bullying accusations that happen within the company and like with the CEOs, and also like the mistreatment. Like I think we should like listen to what NewJeans has to say and also like believe them, right? Because we always talk about how these artists are like abused, and especially with the whole like KG thing that happened at JYP. I think like there's no reason for us to like not believe the idols. Yes, we should hear like both stories and everything, but if we're talking purely from like moral standpoint, like I think artists try to convey that message to you that they want to do things right. They want to set it straight. But for companies, like their first priority is money, their stocks, their shareholders, right? So I think we should try to sympathize with the artist first rather than just immediately turning a blind eye to them just because your stan is still in the company, right? It's such a mess, and I think I hope NewJeans are able to re-debut and also keep the success that they have right now, because they truly like touched a lot of people's hearts, for K-pop fans and non-K-pop fans alike. I think it's needless to say, NewJeans has been one of the top artists of K-pop for 2024. And like, I think it doesn't even come close, because if you ask someone, like, oh, like what's a K-pop song that you listened to recently, right? They'll most likely say NewJeans, just because of the impact that they have with their music. Even with all the drama that's happening surrounding NewJeans this year, they still like their name is like a buzz, right? Their name is trendy. Their name is catchy. It flows well, and their music is all over TikTok, as you all know, right? So there's no avoiding NewJeans, and like everyone knows that. If if you're a Gen Zer or you're casual TikTok user. But yeah, like let me know what you guys think about that. And since we mentioned like the whole KG thing, I think we should also talk about that as well. I didn't plan to talk about it, but while I was making the whole when I was doing my research, right? Like it popped up suddenly, so I was like, oh shit, I guess I gotta talk about that now. So KG came up with this statement about JYP Entertainment. I think JYP, like her VCHA is like based in the States, so it's JYP Entertainment in the States. Talking about how the company is, mistreating her, telling her you're not good enough, overworking her, not paying for the work that she has done, which is child labor, and also uh, incurring what's the word? It was just giving them like a massive amount of debt to the girls, right? And even talking about how one member tried to end it for themselves. So some serious shit has happened in VCHA, right? I don't know if I talked about VCHA on my podcast before, but VCHA is pretty much a survival girl group um, that was created by JYP. Um, and they made a debut, like it's kind of like a soft debut at the beginning of this year or maybe end of last year, and then ever since then radio silence. Like we have not heard from them. We have seen comparisons between VCHA and Cat's Eye debut because they're trained under K-pop agency but then debuting as a global artist. So there's like a lot of pressure I feel on VCHA to perform better when they come back. So like I was really expecting a comeback soon, but this came out. So yeah, to me it seems like VCHA is probably going to be over. I think her claims, I mean, I'm saying claims, but I'm pretty sure they're real. Like if it's actually true that these things have happened, I think a lot of people are most likely not going to support the group. And also I think the group, it's hard to it's hard to continue off or like get back together again and perform in front of people when like something like this has happened, right? Like a lot of things in KG's claims were so serious that it's almost scary to think about like all the other agencies, right? Like is this the contract similar to like the other groups under JYP? Is this contract similar to like all the other groups of other agencies as well? Because there was some I guess what's it called, like terms of a contract that they had to follow, such as their weight has to be controlled, where they go has to be controlled, who they hang out with has to be controlled, their weight, what they eat, and also like their idol image as well. Like for example, this member has to be sexy, this member has to be charismatic, this member has to be cute. Like very like detailed these points like are in the terms, and like that's scary because I understand like some stuff such as like who to go out with and like how you use social media and stuff like that, like that's understandable, but like controlling what they eat, like controlling their image as well and how they perform on stage, I think that's like going too far, because they're idols but they're also like people, right? I think agencies need to like retrain themselves to think like, okay, you need to like sell this image of an idol, but you don't need to like, I guess, abuse them while they're doing it, right? Like, yes, they need to train hard. Yes, they need to show their talents on stage. Yes, they have to be appealing and attractive, right? But you're forcing them to like completely like changing them in a way where like it's not even like to the point where like they don't even have an identity anymore, and maybe that's the rough culture of idol life, but I think that like that's why like that needs to change eventually. So my heart goes out to KG, and let me know in the comments what you guys think about that situation. And finally, as a Neverland, I'm so happy for G Idol. they performed at the Mama Awards and the Melon Music Awards this year. The Mama Awards for them. Oh girl, my girl Soyeon was slaying that stage. She mentioned Sujin, which I was clocked. I was gagged. I did not expect her to say that, but she really put everything on the line. She said, "Oh, my contract's done, girl. I'm ready to leave at any moment. Like, if I leave the contract, like, I'm rejoining with Sujin." I feel like that was what she was trying to say. And then at at the Melon Music Awards, they confirmed that they're renewing their contract. And as I'm like a diehard Neverland, right? So for me, like, I feel like that is good news, because if they were to no longer be with Cube, that would mean they would need to find a different agency. They would need to build everything up from the ground again, most likely, because I think there are a lot of agencies out there that that maybe would allow Soyeon to have the creative vision and the creative control. But since they're already at Cube, since they've have those connections within Cube, and like the staff get along really well with them, like I think this was ultimately like the best choice for them. And you could say like, oh, GIDLE is betraying Sujin because they're resigning with Cube. Well, just remember that like in the case that Sujin was in back in 2021, like she herself made that choice to leave the group. Whether you believe that or not, like that's on you, but she has said by like herself that like she left the group on her own terms. And I like to believe that even if like Sujin had the chance to go back to GIDLE and go back to Cube, like I don't think she would take that opportunity, because like she doesn't seem like the type to me who would want to bring down the group, right? Like they seem really close together, and I think like that this is just what's best for GIDLE and what's best for Sujin, right? So that's what I have to say about that as a GIDLE stan, as a Neverland bitch. So I know this is gonna be a short episode, but I'm really glad I got to yap again. Let me know what you guys think about Taylor Swift. Let me know what you guys think about NewJeans, KG, and even like the GIDLE situation, whether you're a Neverland or not. Once again, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy holidays. I hope you had a good Christmas. And let me know as well, what are your plans for 2025 are. For me, I want 2025 to be the year where I post more consistently for you guys. And I just want to make more fun content. Like, I'm really hoping I would make the plunge and start like posting like more TikToks and shorts, just like, get my channel out there, get my name out there. I'm telling you guys right now, 2025 is gonna be the year for me. Okay, like I'm gonna be big and famous. I'm gonna be the best YouTuber for you guys. I'm gonna be the best YouTuber for myself, and I will be, I say YouTuber, but like, influencer, right? And I'm excited for what 2025 has in store for all of us. So please take care. Happy New Year, everyone. This has been Delulu Hour. This has been Kevin. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.